Hey guys, a lot of people that I speak to on this channel, I help, or that message me in comments or wherever. A lot of people on here are suffering. Like I see so much suffering on a daily basis. Just people that have been injured from fluoroquinolones, or are having trouble with kratom, or are losing faith in God, or you know, we are living in a crazy time right now. Like, no doubt about it. Unprecedented times. And I've been thinking a lot about the suffering that I see, the suffering that I endured for 15 years from fluoroquinolone damage, the suffering over the last year and a half, recovering from the septic shock and, all that that entailed, my stomach. I'm still having issues, but I keep thinking about the suffering. Like life for some is like this, we look over at somebody else and we're like, you're healthy, you have a spouse, you make good money, like your children are well behaved, like life seems like a dream over there. Why am I suffering so much? And I don't think there's an answer that we can comprehend on why certain individuals seem to just really go through it. And so I've thought about this a lot. And I feel like God's maybe given me some kind of like a download, or just some clarity, maybe some wisdom on what this all means, like big picture. Like, so I kind of today I have a message for people that are suffering, like people that are wondering where God's at, or wondering why do I have to go through this pain? Why do I have to endure whatever might have happened to me? Why is life so difficult? And, the thought I have had, it's kind of an analogy, because I feel like, I'm sorry, my cat's over there doing something. I don't know what. Simmer down. you know, with life, like I'm looking at it big picture wise, and I think we tend to look at our life and go like, why is God not blessing us? Why is God not giving us this beautiful, wonderful life? And when we look at Paul, in the Bible, or a lot of the apostles, like they didn't have it easy. Like they weren't super blessed. Like they had a difficult life. In fact, I would say that, Paul, I don't know how many times, but he was near death multiple times, imprisoned. Like he went through it. Like, and so, looking at an analogy of what I've come to kind of understand, like we as individuals, we as Christians, we don't belong here. Like this is not our place. Like, I'm a creep. I don't belong here. We really don't. Like this, we're not of this world. And so in that, the analogy I guess I think about a lot is that we have a destination. Like we have a place we know we're going. Like we know our final destination is heaven. Like that's the place we want to be. That's the place where there's going to be no more suffering. There's going to be no more pain and all these things. Whatever we struggle with in this world is no longer going to be. We're only in it because we're in a fallen world, a world that is ruled by sin. It's like it's a bad place. God in heaven is not going to be like that. And I've been looking at life as this analogy of a flight, like an airplane flight or traveling. When you go, let's say you're going to Europe and you're getting ready to take a 13-hour flight, or coming here, wherever, depending on where you live. But you're getting ready to take that flight, and you have to do a lot of things in preparation for that. You have to pack, you go through checkpoints, you go through whatever, like you get your luggage on, you get on a flight, maybe you fly for 13 hours. It's an ordeal, and it's hard. I don't think anybody would say that a long traveling trip, the actual trip, is fun, right? But it's the destination that we set our eyes on, and that's what makes that travel worthwhile, I guess. That's why we go through it. So with that analogy in mind, now looking at it as life, as that trip, we are on this trip before we go to our destination, which is heaven. And I think so often as Christians, we lose sight of that final destination, that place that we're going to arrive at. We get so caught up in the world and why isn't it and why and this and that. And hey, like, yeah, life sucks. Like it does. But we have a final destination that we know we're assured of when we are saved through Christ, by simply by believing in him. Through righteousness, we are saved and we go to heaven. That is our final destination. So what we're looking at here with this life that may seem long when we think about 70 years, 80 years of living, however long we may live, only God knows. But it may seem like a long time. And perspective-wise, from our perspective, yes, it's very long. I've been on this earth 50 years. And when I look at all the craziness I've been through, it seems like an eternity of primarily suffering. Like, honestly, like, if not for God and knowing him and having his peace in my heart, I think I would have cut out a lot earlier in life. But, it's something that I can't do. So, and I won't do. That's not the answer. That's not the God's plan for me. But what I think I need to always keep in mind is that this, in the grand scheme of eternity, like when we're looking at eternity, like eternal, like forever, like this is such a small little trip we're taking right now on a plane. It's a plane flight that we're taking for such a short period of time, 13 hours, 70 years. When you look at the perspective of eternity and heaven and how long we're going to be in heaven, like this is nothing. This is nothing. So I want you to try to keep that in mind, like, and keep heaven in mind when you're having difficulty, because that's helped me so much lately to realize this is just a small, no matter what happens. If I was in a wheelchair, if I was, a lot worse could happen to me than what has happened to me in life. A lot worse. I've seen it, and still, I know that I have God with me. I have the peace of God with me because I trust in him fully. And then this world, like, trusting in him gives me peace. Trusting in him gives me peace that I'm okay, regardless of what happens, regardless of what I'm going through. He will make sure that he comforts me. He makes sure that I have a peace in my heart. I'm always happy despite what I might be going through. I mean, I have, of course, points of sadness, but, I have a peace about this life, and I have a promise of eternity in heaven. Like, that is huge. This small trip we're taking, whatever you may be going through, is only leading you in a short period of time to the great place we want to be. So I'm sorry for the cat. It kind of was distracting my train of thought, and I got a text in. I forgot to turn my phone off, so my ringer off. I apologize for all of that, guys, but I hope this message helped somebody. I prayed before I made it, and I try to think like these things that I think about myself. When I do think of them, I want to share them because hopefully it hits somebody, and hopefully it helps somebody to grow closer to God and to perhaps feel a little bit better, understand a little bit better the situation they might be in, and just realize that it's so small, the amount of time that we have here on this earth. And that just gives me great comfort. So I hope this message helped somebody, anybody, somebody. It's helped me, so I'm just passing it along. Guys, I make these videos because I feel inspired by God to make them. I love making them. I am trying to find some work now. I'm trying to get something going. I need to get some finances going. I've given up on filing for disability. I'm getting nowhere, and there has to be something I can do. Even despite being sick, I'm still not in great shape. Like, I'm still recovering. I still have an abscess on my spleen. I still have tiredness. I still have post-traumatic stress disorder from what happened to me in the hospital. I'm still dealing with a lot, but I know that there's still some things that I can do. And this, though, making these videos and then communicating with the people that reach out and need help, like, this is what fills my heart. Like, this is the stuff that like I feel really called to do. Like if it can help somebody, like I'm all in. Unfortunately, it doesn't really pay the bills. I do get donations. I do have a couple of Patreons. God bless you both. Like you guys are awesome. I appreciate that so much. But you know, they only go so far in life. And I know times are tough, but if you can find it in your heart to donate something small through my PayPal, through my Venmo, through GoFundMe, or becoming a Patreon where you help support what I'm doing here on a monthly basis would be awesome. I have all the links down below in the description. I also want to say to anybody that's watching this video that's in a hard place right now, you can reach out to me on Instagram. I'm going to pop my Instagram down below as well, so you can reach out to me. But as well as that, like even better is to, if you need prayer, because you're dealing with something challenging right now, please leave a comment down below in this video and tell us what's going on and ask for prayer. I will pray for you, and not only I will, but I am sure that some of these other wonderful people that watch this channel will also pray for you. You'll have a bunch of prayer warriors going to war for you and battling these spiritual principalities to try to keep us down and try to get our mind in a different headspace than where it should be. We shouldn't be in the flesh. We should be in the spirit, and it's hard because we are in these fleshy bodies, and it's hard to connect with spirit, with the spirit of God and the spirit that's in us that, you know, has redeemed us. It's hard sometimes, but through prayer we can do that. We can grow towards that, and that is where I think we find the most peace, is when we are in living in the spirit rather than the flesh. So please, if you need some help, contact me through my IG, or drop a prayer request down below for other people to also pray for you. And I hope this video helped, guys. Until next time, God bless.